The film begins showing Kevin, currently working security detail outside a local pub. When aggressive thugs attempt entering the bar, having been previously banned by the owner, Kevin intervenes to block them. Naturally, these thugs feel deeply offended. Then these peeps started fighting with Kevin, unaware this person will become the part of most ruthless mafia gang in future. Meanwhile, members of the Winter Hill Mafia gang sit inside the tavern. Among them rests their leader, named James Bulger. However, a waiter alerts James that there is a brawl outside. James exits, witnessing his cousin Charlie and bouncers brutally beating Kevin. James steps in, de-escalating the fight. The following day, while Kevin gazes at the sky, James pulls up in his vehicle. He forces Kevin into the car. Then, the group drives to a beach where a third passenger asks James, "Why have we come here?" James begins beating him savagely without saying a word. Following his lead, Kevin also starts striking the third person. Soon, they kill that man. James reveals to Kevin that this guy belonged to a rival faction flying a little too high. Through this act, Kevin becomes a part of the Winter Hill gang, where he continues committing petty crimes with the crew. Kevin observes that townspeople adore James greatly, especially the elderly residents, because James always greets them with genuine affection. Next, we see FBI agent John, a rising star in the bureau. The chief assigns John a new case, telling him his job is to investigate the South Boston Mafia and destroy them, specifically the Angelo family. John begins studying the file, discovering that the Angelo family is a massive criminal syndicate engaged in organized crime. They have murdered many people, yet due to a lack of concrete evidence, they remain untouched. When John finds no other way to solve this difficult case, he decides to visit his old friend Billy Bulger. We learn here that Billy serves as a state senator. Furthermore, he is the brother of James Bulger, boss of the Winter Hill gang. The two men begin reliving old memories. Meanwhile, Agent John tells Billy, "I have been tasked to end crime in South Boston, and in my targets, your brother James is included. But this work could be easier if you arrange a meeting with James." Elsewhere, James arrives at his mom's house for dinner. During the meal, Billy informs James about Agent John. Hearing this, James agrees to meet Agent John, where John explains, "I am investigating your rival gang, the Angelo family. I received information that the Angelo boss plans to assassinate you. If you help me, I can help you. My only current task is to essentially destroy the Angelo family." Initially, James rejects the offer. However, he eventually accepts Agent John's deal because he also wants to eliminate those enemies. Following this, we see James's home life, where he has a beautiful wife and lovely son. During breakfast, James discovers his son beat someone up at school yesterday. James advises his son quite like a devoted father, "Son, it is better if you take your enemies somewhere private from now on, so that nobody knows." Hearing this, James's wife begins smiling. Later, when the Winter Gang goes for a drive, a policeman stops their car. He says, "James, you beat that Angelo member badly and left him to die. Now the Angelo family is furious. You must be careful because the Angelos will definitely seek revenge." Hearing this, Tommy goes berserk. He starts threatening to kill the policeman, but James somehow manages to de-escalate the situation and get them out of there. The group then goes out, where Tommy talks excessively while drinking, claiming he will kill that dirty cop. James insists, "You will not do such a stupid thing at all. You should know the consequences for cop killers are severe." Hearing this, Tommy starts abusing James. He also threatens to kill James. Hearing this, James snaps, though he calms the rest of the gang. The next day, the Angelo family murders a Winter Hill member. When James's crew gets the news, they kidnap Tommy from his home. They drive to Riverside and execute Tommy. James is entirely suspicious that Tommy leaked gang information, or perhaps he is seeking revenge for last night's incident. They throw Tommy's body under a bridge known as the Bulger burial ground, because James kills enemies and buries them there. Afterwards, James calls FBI agent John, saying, "I am ready to help you." Agent John goes to meet the bureau chief, telling him that James is ready to help them. According to the deal, James will inform them about criminal gangs. Taking advantage of this, they will destroy organized crime. But in return, they must ignore the criminal activities of the Winter Hill gang. Hearing all this, the chief starts hesitating because he does not trust a criminal like James. But when Agent John insists, he agrees to this deal. However, the special condition was that the Winter Hill gang will not be involved in any drug deal or murder. After this, Agent John goes to meet James and tells him that he will work as an informant for us. And in return, we will ignore your crimes. But you cannot murder anyone at this time. Otherwise, the deal will be cancelled. James starts providing information to the FBI, through which the FBI starts arresting criminals. On the same day, James tells his friend Steve that, "I have made a deal with the FBI." Steve is very shocked to know this, so James makes it clear to him that we are criminals. But we have a lot of rivals and enemies which we can kill through the FBI. By doing this, our competitors will also decrease, and the FBI will also protect us, so we can make our own government in the South. Hearing this, Steve says that whatever you do, do it carefully. Similarly, one day when James returns home, his wife reminds him that their son is very sick. They quickly take the child for a checkup. They find out their child has an incurable disease, and he will remain in a coma for the rest of his life. Knowing this, James's wife Lindsay completely breaks down, because she does not want to see her child on life support all the time. Lindsay bravely removes her son's life support, by which he dies. James is very angry to learn this. He calls Lindsay a murderer, which starts a fight between the two. And then Lindsay leaves James forever. We are then shown the year 1981. James has become a big-time criminal. He is now appearing in newspapers, meaning his business is spreading very fast. Also, he is making a lot of money. During a trip, James meets Brian and John Callahan. Brian is a drug dealer who is so scared that he kills people without any care. On the other side, John Callahan works in a betting company called World Jai Alai. At the same time, the FBI chief tells Agent John that the Winter Hill gang is getting more and more powerful, but they haven't provided good information yet. Believe it or not, James is taking advantage of us. We must do something. So John meets James, telling him to provide information related to the Angelo family, otherwise the FBI will stop protecting him. The next day, John finds an envelope in his car which holds intel related to the Angelo family. John reaches his office in full tension, where he tells everyone that, "My intel source has found out the headquarters of the Angelo family, which means we can kill the biggest crime gang in the Southeast." The chief and his team are genuinely astonished to witness this. Later on, John Callahan meets with James, explaining to him that our firm, which acts as a betting company, is facing massive corruption. I have personally embezzled a large sum of money from the company. However, the owner of the company, whose name is Roger Wheeler, has a doubt on me. He is currently auditing all the company's account books and records, and he will find out about me soon. James asks Callahan, "Suppose if we kill Roger, can we extract any benefit from it?" John Callahan gets excited and says, "If Roger is killed, then I can easily take over the World Heli Company from Roger's wife." Consequently, they start planning to kill Roger. However, for some reason, James doesn't trust the new member of the gang, Brian. James tells Brian, "Take $20,000 and get out of here. Also forget everything that happened here." Brian departs with the bag of money. A few days later, James's gang member, the boss of the World Heli Company, kills Roger. Soon this news starts playing on every channel, which Brian is also watching. He is certain that James has killed Roger. He goes straight to the FBI office, where he provides all the information to the FBI officer that the Winter Gang has killed Roger so that they can take over Roger's company. But Brian's plan backfires because the FBI is guarding James and his gang. They chase Brian out of here. Also, they make the matter worse by saying that Brian is speaking nonsense under the influence of drugs. Following this, James goes to watch a parade. Agent John comes to him and asks, "Did you kill Roger? If yes, then you are going to be in big trouble." After hearing this, James understands that only two people can inform about this matter, which is Brian and John Callahan. When Brian is walking somewhere with his friend, James comes here with a gun. First he kills Brian's friend, and then he shoots Brian because James doesn't like cheating at all. By the way, the public has seen all this, so there is going to be a problem for James. And it happens. In the FBI office, the chief is angry with Agent John that James has killed Brian. "Can you tell me how James got to know that Brian testified in front of the FBI?" After hearing this, Agent John starts making excuses. The chief gets angry, and then the argument starts between them. But then an agent comes here and tells that boss, "You should listen to this." All these people put on their headphones and start listening to some voices, which was of the boss of the Angelo family, Gennaro Angelo, who was talking to someone on his phone. This means the FBI has succeeded in tapping the phones of the Angelo family. These people hear that Gennaro Angelo is threatening someone on his phone, that he is a crime lord. He also reveals his past crimes. All this was recorded by the FBI, which means now the FBI can take action. Subsequently, Agent John goes to the headquarters of the Angelo family and arrests Gennaro Angelo. After this, the Winter Hill Gang and Agent John go to celebrate in Miami. After all, they have caught their biggest enemy. During the party, James considers that why not kill John Callahan too, because only this man can trap James. Otherwise, the rest of the members are loyal to James. And then this happens. Next day, the police finds John Callahan's dead body in the trunk of the car. Now Agent John's relationship with his wife has deteriorated because his wife doesn't like the fact that her husband is involved in crime. One day, Agent John finds out that there is a new district attorney in Boston whose name is Fred. Agent John meets Fred and tries to bribe him. But this DA is very honest. He rejects John's offer. Also, he starts inquiring about a criminal named James Bulger, that how has James been able to escape from the police for so many years. Hearing this, James is in a lot of tension. On the other hand, James's mom passes away. Due to his absence, James is completely broken. Well, first his son was killed, then his wife left him, and now his mom has also passed away. So now James is completely broken. After enduring so much pain, the man goes crazy, in which James starts taking wrong decisions. Now James has started coming in contact with the IRA member. Also, he is going to do a big weapon deal with the IRA, which is a very dangerous matter. Similarly, one day Steve tells James that the police has arrested my stepdaughter. These people go to the police station, where James finds out that Steve's stepdaughter is a prostitute. Also, she takes drugs. Now James starts doubting that did this girl tell the police about her? At the interrogation, the girl says that I have not shared any information with the police. But James does not trust her words at all. He strangles the girl and kills her, that too in front of Steve, who is the stepfather of this girl. Seeing this, Steve's heart breaks, but he is scared and does not say anything to James. Afterwards, Agent John tells his wife that my friends are coming over for dinner today. His wife understands that the Winter Hill gangster members are definitely coming. She says to John that they are your friends, so you only receive them. I am not going to go in front of them. Later, James and Steve reach John's house for dinner, where John's partner Agent Morris was also present. During dinner, when James does not see John's wife, he goes to check her condition, where he starts misbehaving with John's wife, which makes John's wife very scared, and now she has started feeling very insecure here. After a few days, James as per a deal provides weapons to the IRA, which IRA members start taking from the boat to their base. But James's days are not going well because the coastal police captures the boat with the Irish weapons, along with the people with whom James had a deal. Seeing all this news, James gets very scared. On the other hand, the FBI chief starts investigating James Bulger. He eventually discovers that within the Winter Hill gang, there is actually an informer other than James who is providing him with much better information than James. The chief now understands that James is using the FBI to become the kingpin of the city. Consequently, the chief contacts his higher-ups and informs them that I am going to take action against James. However, the higher-ups tell him that you cannot take action against James for now, but you can take action against Agent John because he is involved in crimes with James. Whereas Agent Morris tells John that we are all in danger because the chief is going to take action soon. Thus it would be better if you end all your ties with James. But John does not pay attention to what he says. The next day, John is called to the district attorney's office where he sees that the policeman shows some photos to DA and tells him that this guy's name is McIntyre, who is our informer. Along with that, the information he gives is of very high value. I mean, he has provided us more information than James. And now this guy is working in the Winter Hill gang, but this guy has been missing since yesterday. Well, DA is suspicious that Agent John has told James about McIntyre. Consequently, he asks Agent John, do you really work for the FBI or for James? Because all your actions were taken in support of James. Whereas James has caught McIntyre. Where after a lot of beating, he tells James that when I went to supply weapons to the IRA, I was arrested during the search, so I had to tell the authorities everything about you. Hearing this, James kills McIntyre mercilessly. After this, Agent John's partner calls the newspapers and tells him everything, whatever he knew about James Bulger. The newspapers then confirm all this information with the FBI chief and publish it in their paper. Upon seeing this, James is very sad because the FBI has deceived him. But this guy is forgetting that the FBI had clearly told James that he can't commit any murder. Along with that, he won't even deal in drugs. But James has done all this at a very high level. Then James killed John family brutally, and Agent John knew about this. The next day, Agent John is arrested by the FBI, and the same thing happens to the other members of the Winter Hill Gang. All of them are arrested. But before they can arrest James, he leaves the city. And then we come to know that James left Boston in 1995, after which he was seen all over the world. Whereas to provide information against James, Kevin Weeks' sentence was reduced. He only had to be sentenced to 5 years. And James' partner John had to be sentenced to 12 years. James' best buddy Steve was sentenced to life imprisonment because he had killed 10 people. And as far as Agent Morris is concerned, he was forgiven because he had provided information to the FBI against Agent John and James. And Agent John was declared James' accomplice, for which he was sentenced to 40 years. And lastly, after 12 years, the FBI also arrested Most Wanted James, who is now an old man. And with this scene, this movie ends.